The House remains unable to legislate tonight without a House Speaker, but over in the Senate, the leaders of both parties there are pledging to spend the coming weeks working on what they say will be a bipartisan aid package for Israel. And I'm joined now by Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. Senator, thank you so much for being here. There was this all senators briefing today, a classified briefing, of course, I know, but it was with top administration officials on Israel. Were you presented with evidence that Israel was not behind that explosion that happened at the hospital in Gaza?
They said what the president has said and what the Israelis have said, that the evidence they have is that they do not think that Israel did it. That was based upon both, let me stop there because some of it might be classified, but some of it's obviously open source. But the president himself has said that from what he has seen, it was not the Israelis. So probably I should leave it there.
Okay, and when you were in that briefing, did you get any clarity about something that has been discussed but not really, pinpointed, which is any role that Iran may have played in that attack by Hamas on Israel?
Well, when I was in Israel, I heard the same thing that I've been hearing from U.S. officials, that there is no direct evidence that Iran actually knew, that they did not, so to speak, activate it, but they've certainly enabled it. It's over the years that both by training and by transferring resources to Hamas, that Hamas was able to do something. Now, others say there's no way that Hamas would have had the sophistication of this, so that Iran must have been involved specifically in this activity. But we've heard both from the administration and what I've heard from the Israelis is that they do not have direct evidence that Iran activated this.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for clearing that up. And you mentioned you were just here. You met with not only Prime Minister, but also his wartime cabinet that we saw President Biden meeting with earlier. The president said he plans to ask you and the rest of Congress for what he said is an unprecedented support package for Israel's defense. Is it accurate that you have heard that will be to the tune of $10 billion? And will you support that, Senator?
Yes, I have heard that. But can I see what's in it first? But I can tell you that the Congress wants to support Israel. But before I say I'm going to vote for it, I at least need to look at it.
Okay, so you would like to look at that package first. Of course, there's a question of whether or not it will be
I'm going to
vote
vote
Ukraine funding.
But I will vote to support Israel. For example, let me give you kind of, when we were there meeting with the generals and the others in the Israeli government, one of the things they requested was humanitarian aid for Palestine, for the Palestinians. So the Israelis were requesting for the humanitarian aid. I assume that's in the $10 billion because that's something that the Israelis are requesting for the Palestinians. And so I'd like to see, is that request being honored? You see where I'm going with that. There's some things I know are needed. I just want to make sure they're covered.
Senator Bill Cassidy, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Caitlin.